Today, we'll dive into an essential aspect of our spiritual life, prayer. You might have wondered, how can I make my prayer more meaningful? The truth is, prayer is one of the most powerful tools we have to connect with the divine, but often we make mistakes that can weaken this sacred communication. Imagine prayer as a bridge between you and God. It's a direct channel where you can express your joys, sorrows, gratitude, and deepest requests. However, for this bridge to be strong and solid, it must be built with care and attention. Small mistakes in how we pray can make this bridge unstable, impairing our communication and the effectiveness of our petitions. Think of a time when you were trying to communicate with someone important, but your words didn't come out as you intended, or perhaps you were distracted and the message wasn't understood. Now, imagine this in your relationship with God. If you don't pay attention to certain details, you might end up not conveying what's truly in your heart. So, why is it important to avoid these mistakes? Because prayer is not just a ritual or a formality. It's an intimate, personal encounter where you open yourself to the divine presence, seeking guidance, comfort, and transformation. Each mistake can create invisible barriers between you and this deep connection. In the coming moments, we will explore 5 common mistakes that, if avoided, can make a big difference in the quality of your prayer. We'll discover how you can enhance your practice, making your conversations with God more authentic and powerful. Are you ready to adjust your course and strengthen your spiritual bridge? Then, join us on this journey of discovery and growth. Now that we understand the importance of meaningful prayer, let's explore the first common mistake: lack of intention and focus. Imagine you're in a very important conversation, but your mind is wandering elsewhere. What happens? The conversation loses depth, and the connection remains superficial. Similarly, when you pray without a clear intention and genuine focus, your prayer can become a mere ritual, an automatic repetition of words without the depth it could have. A lack of intention can cause you to get lost in the middle of a prayer without truly connecting with what you're saying. You might find yourself praying more out of habit than from genuine reflection and desire for transformation. Ask yourself, am I truly committed to this prayer? Am I bringing my heart and mind into this moment, or am I just passing time? To avoid this mistake, start your prayer with a clear intention. Ask yourself what you want to achieve with this prayer. Maybe you're seeking guidance on an important decision, or perhaps you need comfort during a time of pain. Whatever the reason, make sure your intention aligns with your words. Focus your mind and heart on what you are communicating and open yourself up for a true conversation with God. Remember, prayer is an opportunity for a sincere and profound encounter. Without intention and focus, this encounter can become just a fleeting moment. By cultivating a clear intention, you can transform your prayer into a powerful tool for spiritual growth and connection. Having addressed the lack of intention and focus, let's move on to the next common mistake that can affect the effectiveness of your prayer. With intention and focus well established, let's now address the second common mistake: not listening for God's response. Imagine you're having a deep conversation with a friend, but while speaking, you're not paying attention to what they have to say. The conversation becomes unbalanced and meaningless. Similarly, in prayer, if you're not attentive to the responses and signs that God might be sending you, you're missing the chance to receive valuable guidance. Prayer is not just about speaking, but also about listening. Often, we become so focused on presenting our requests and concerns that we forget to pause and listen. It's in this silence that God may speak to us, offer comfort, or even shift our perspective. This mistake can arise when you have rigid expectations about how and when you should receive a response. Perhaps you're waiting for an immediate answer or looking for a specific sign. But, in reality, God's responses can come in unexpected ways, through everyday events, advice from others, or even a profound internal sense of peace and clarity. To avoid this mistake, make room for silence and reflection during and after your prayer. Give yourself the time needed to listen to what God might be saying. Be open and receptive, allowing responses to come in various forms, not just the way you envisioned. Prayer is a dialogue, and, like any real dialogue, listening is as crucial as speaking. Now that we've discussed the importance of listening for God's response, let's move on to the next common mistake: using prayer only for requests. Now that we've explored the importance of listening for God's response, let's address the third common mistake: using prayer only for requests. Imagine having a friend who only reaches out when they need something. Wouldn't that be somewhat disheartening? It could create a one-sided and superficial relationship. In the same vein, when prayer is used solely to make requests, it loses the richness and depth it could offer. Prayer should not be a mere act of listing requests and concerns. It's an opportunity to cultivate a deeper relationship with God. When we pray only to ask for things, we're missing the essential elements of prayer: praise and gratitude. These aspects are crucial because they help maintain our perspective and remind us of the blessings we've already received. To avoid this mistake, balance your prayers with moments of thanksgiving and adoration. Instead of focusing solely on what you want or need, take time to acknowledge and praise what God has already done in your life. Expressing gratitude not only enriches your prayer, but also strengthens your relationship with the divine. By incorporating praise and gratitude into your prayers, you create space for a more balanced and profound relationship with God. This helps prevent the feeling that prayer is merely a tool for making requests and transforms it into a genuine expression of faith and recognition. Now that we've discussed how to avoid using prayer only for requests, let's move on to the next common mistake: not being sincere or authentic. With your prayer now balanced with praise and gratitude, let's explore the fourth common mistake: not being sincere or authentic. Imagine having a conversation with someone who is always hiding their true feelings or intentions. This kind of communication creates a barrier that prevents a genuine connection. Similarly, when we're not sincere or authentic in our prayers, we create a distance between ourselves and God. Sincerity is crucial in prayer. If you're not being true to your feelings and intentions, the prayer loses its authenticity. This can happen when we pray ritualistically, merely repeating words we've heard without truly expressing what's in our hearts. To avoid this mistake, it's essential to open up genuinely during prayer. Express your real feelings, doubts, and concerns. Don't try to hide or mask what's going on in your heart. God knows your innermost self better than you do, and sincerity in your words creates a space for a true and deep connection. By being authentic in your prayers, you allow your relationship with God to be more profound and meaningful. Prayer becomes a space of truth, where you can be completely yourself, without filters or reservations. Now that we've discussed the importance of being sincere and authentic, let's move on to the fifth and final common mistake: ignoring the context of the community and the scriptures. With sincerity and authenticity well established, we arrive at the fifth common mistake: ignoring the context of the community and the scriptures. Imagine trying to understand a complex book without considering the historical and cultural context in which it was written. This can lead to misunderstandings and a shallow grasp of the content. Similarly, in prayer, ignoring the broader context of your religious community and biblical teachings can limit the depth and effectiveness of your practice. Prayer is part of a spiritual practice rooted in traditions and teachings that extend beyond ourselves. When you disconnect from the context of the scriptures and your faith community, you might miss valuable insights into how prayer fits into both collective and individual spiritual life. To avoid this mistake, it's important to understand how your prayers relate to the practices and wisdom of your religious tradition. Study the scriptures and the guidance of your faith community to ensure your prayers align with the principles and teachings that shape your spirituality. This not only enriches your personal practice, but also strengthens your connection with the faith community to which you belong. Considering the context of the scriptures and the community not only deepens your understanding, but also ensures that your prayer is in harmony with the broader spiritual tradition and practice. By integrating these aspects, your prayers become richer and more aligned with the purpose and values of your faith. Now that we've discussed the importance of considering the context of the scriptures and the community, let's conclude with some tips on cultivating an effective prayer life. With all the common mistakes addressed, let's now conclude with some tips for cultivating an effective prayer life. After exploring the lack of intention and focus, difficulty in listening for responses, using prayer solely for requests, lack of sincerity, and the importance of considering the context of the scriptures and community, it's time to consolidate all this into practices that will make your prayers more meaningful and transformative. First, establish a dedicated time and space for prayer. Creating a quiet and regular environment for your prayers helps maintain focus and intention. Be consistent, yet flexible. allowing this time to become a sacred space where you can connect on a deeper level. Second, practice active listening. After expressing your thoughts and feelings, set aside time for stillness and reflection. This not only allows you to receive guidance and comfort, but also strengthens your connection with God, making prayer a true dialogue. Additionally, remember to integrate praise and gratitude into your prayers. By acknowledging and giving thanks for the blessings you already have, you create a healthy balance between requests and recognition. This enriches your practice and helps maintain a positive and grateful perspective. Another crucial point is sincerity. Be honest and open about what's in your heart. Authenticity in your prayers not only deepens your connection with God, but also fosters a sense of inner peace and clarity. Finally, stay informed and engaged with the teachings and practices of your faith community. Understanding the context of the scriptures and religious tradition helps align your prayers with broader spiritual principles, enriching your personal practice and connection with your community. By incorporating these practices, you transform your prayer life into a more profound and meaningful experience. Remember, prayer is an ongoing path of growth and discovery, and each adjustment you make can lead to a richer and more transformative connection with the divine. Thank you for joining this journey. May your prayers always be a space of true connection and transformation. Until next time,